Welcome back to our channel, your ultimate source for the most gripping updates on the bold and the beautiful. Today, we are stepping away from the runway to explore a deeply emotional and tragic storyline that is poised to shatter hearts across Los Angeles. Let us delve into the profound drama unfolding behind closed doors. The glittering skyline of Los Angeles has recently been illuminated by the unprecedented, meteoric rise of the Logan fashion empire. Billboards across the globe flash with the triumphant debut of Katie Logan Spencer and Bill Spencer's latest collection, an ostentatious display of corporate victory that has left their rivals at Forrester Creations scrambling in the wake of a massive public relations nightmare. The atmosphere at the Logan brand's headquarters is nothing short of electric, vibrating with the intoxicating thrill of absolute success. Champagne flows freely. Camera flashes create a blinding constellation of artificial stars, and the air is thick with the scent of expensive perfume and limitless ambition. Hope Logan Spencer, having executed her lightning-fast defection from Steffy Forrester's oppressive regime, stands at the epicenter of this triumph, reveling in the creative control she has finally secured. To the outside world, and even to those standing within the epicenter of this glamorous tempest, the Logan and Spencer families have reached the absolute summit of the fashion industry. They are untouchable, invincible, and seemingly immune to the vulnerabilities that plague ordinary mortals. However, the summit of any mountain is where the air is the thinnest, and the fall is inevitably the most devastating. Amidst the deafening applause and the blinding flashes of victory, a shadow quietly slips into the grand launch event. Wyatt Spencer, the prodigal son, has unexpectedly returned to Los Angeles. To the unobservant eye, his arrival is merely the final piece of Bill Spencer's masterful corporate puzzle. The narrative circulating among the elite guests is that Wyatt has been summoned back to serve as the dynamic executive architect for the rapidly expanding Logan empire, a brilliant strategic move to solidify their global dominance. He walks through the crowded venue, his tailored designer suit impeccably fitted, his signature charismatic smirk seemingly in place. Yet, beneath the superficial veneer of the triumphant heir returning to claim his throne, a profound and harrowing truth is meticulously hidden. The smile does not reach his eyes, and his steps, usually characterized by a confident, bounding energy, are careful, measured, and weighed down by an invisible, crushing burden. Wyatt does not linger in the spotlight. He bypasses the reporters, the eager executives, and the flowing champagne, seeking out the one man who has always been the immovable anchor in his life, his father. He retreats into the secluded sanctuary of Bill Spencer's private executive office, a room designed to intimidate and command, adorned with dark mahogany, rich leather, and the heavy silence of absolute power. As the heavy oak doors click shut, the pulsating bass of the celebration outside is instantly muted, replaced by a suffocating, heavy stillness that seems to suck the oxygen from the room. The dichotomy between the joyous revelry on the other side of the glass and the impending doom within the office creates a dramatic atmosphere, so thick it is almost tangible. Inside this fortress of corporate power, the facade that Wyatt has so carefully maintained completely shatters. The charismatic bravado melts away, leaving behind a man who is terrifyingly fragile. He collapses into one of the leather armchairs, his posture crumbling as if the invisible weight he has been carrying has finally snapped his spine. He looks at his father, the legendary dollar bill Spencer, a man who wears a sword around his neck as a testament to his ruthless, unconquerable nature. Wyatt's voice, usually so vibrant and full of life, is reduced to a hollow, trembling whisper as he forces the devastating words past his lips. He confesses that he has not returned to conquer the fashion world or to build an empire. He has returned because he is dying. The diagnosis is terminal liver cancer, and he is in the final, irreversible stages. The words hang in the air, a lethal sentence that instantly annihilates the triumphant reality Bill Spencer thought he was living. For a moment, the universe simply stops spinning. Bill Spencer, the man of steel, the ruthless patriarch who firmly believes that every problem has a price tag and every enemy can be crushed beneath his heel, is confronted with the ultimate, terrifying equalizer: mortality. He stares at his son, his mind desperately trying to reject the information, searching for a loophole, a buyout, a hostile takeover strategy to defeat this invisible enemy. But there is no negotiation with death. The realization hits Bill with the force of a physical blow, a visceral, soul-crushing agony that bypasses all his defenses and strikes directly at his heart. The transformation of Bill Spencer in that singular moment is a profound tragedy to witness. The titan of industry, the man who has broken competitors and manipulated destinies with a single phone call, completely and utterly collapses. The sword necklace feels like a heavy anchor dragging him into an abyss of despair. He falls to his knees before his son, the immaculate tailoring of his suit forgotten, the ruthless EO replaced entirely by a terrified, broken father. Tears, a phenomenon so rare for the Spencer patriarch, stream down his face as he grips Wyatt's hands, his voice breaking as he issues desperate, impossible promises to find the best doctors, to buy experimental treatments, to tear the earth apart to save his boy. But the quiet, sorrowful resignation in Wyatt's eyes confirms the terrifying reality. All the billions in the Spencer empire cannot purchase a single extra breath. Amidst the wreckage of his father's emotional collapse, Wyatt makes a desperate, agonizing plea. He grips Bill's trembling hands and demands absolute secrecy. He explicitly forbids his father from breathing a single word of his terminal diagnosis to his brothers, Liam and Will. The internal conflict radiating from Wyatt is heartbreaking. He loves his brothers fiercely, but his pride, the quintessential, stubborn Spencer pride, refuses to allow them to witness his deterioration. He cannot bear the thought of Liam's agonizing, empathetic tears or young Will's terrified confusion. More than anything, Wyatt refuses to be looked at through the lens of pity. He wants his brothers to remember him as the dynamic, sharp-witted, and strong man he has always been, not as a fragile, withering patient fading away in a hospital bed. He demands a right to live his final days on his own terms, maintaining his dignity even as his body betrays him. This demand places an excruciating, almost unbearable burden on Bill's shoulders. He is being asked to carry the heaviest secret of his life, to look his other sons in the eye and lie to them while his heart is being ripped to shreds. The internal conflict tears at the very fabric of Bill's soul. He is a man who values family loyalty above all else, who has fought viciously to keep his pack of sons united and strong. To deceive Liam and Will about something so monumental feels like a betrayal of that sacred bond. Yet, looking into the desperate, pleading eyes of his dying son, Bill knows he has no choice but to honor Wyatt's final wish. He swallows his own agony, forcing the shattered pieces of his stoic facade back together, and solemnly swears to keep the secret, binding himself to a silent, torturous grief. Outside the heavy mahogany doors, the celebration of the Logan brand's success continues unabated, but the perceptive intuition of Katie Logan Spencer begins to ring with silent alarm bells. Katie, the brilliant and observant matriarch of this newly minted fashion empire, knows Bill Spencer better than anyone else on earth. She has navigated his storms, witnessed his triumphs, and mapped the complex landscape of his soul. When the office doors finally open and Bill emerges with Wyatt, Katie's sharp eyes immediately detect the catastrophic shift in the atmosphere. The men attempt to project an aura of executive focus, but Katie sees right through the illusion. She observes the subtle, terrifying changes in the man she loves. Bill's posture, normally rigid with unyielding dominance, is slightly slumped, as if he is carrying a physical weight that is crushing his chest. The charismatic, arrogant gleam that usually dances in his eyes has been entirely extinguished, replaced by a haunted, hollow darkness that sends a shiver down Katie's spine. She watches Wyatt, noting the pale undertone beneath his skin and the forced, exhausted nature of his smile as he greets the surrounding executives. The juxtaposition of their triumphant corporate victory and the absolute devastation radiating from her partner creates a sickening sense of cognitive dissonance within Katie's mind. A profound, creeping dread begins to take root in Katie's heart. She knows that Wyatt's sudden, unannounced return to Los Angeles, coupled with Bill's visibly shattered demeanor, is not a coincidence. This is not the look of men who have just finalized a lucrative global expansion strategy. This is the look of men who have just stared into the abyss. Katie's mind races, analyzing the variables, running through catastrophic scenarios. She fears that a massive, irreversible family tragedy is quietly detonating right in their midst, completely hidden beneath the flashing lights and the flowing champagne of their launch party. The timing of this looming tragedy is a cruel, twisted irony that does not escape Katie's strategic mind. They are currently operating at the absolute peak of their careers, managing the explosive, unprecedented growth of a Logan brand while simultaneously navigating a vicious, high-stakes corporate war with Forrester Creations. The tensions with Steffy Forrester, Ridge, and Brooke are at a boiling point, threatening to spill over into all-out familial warfare. Katie has been working tirelessly to maintain the fragile peace, to ensure that their business success does not completely obliterate their family ties. Now, she realizes with terrifying clarity that a much darker, far more destructive storm is gathering right inside their own home. Katie is paralyzed by the fear of the unknown. She knows that if a tragedy of this magnitude strikes the Spencer family, the fallout will be apocalyptic. It will shatter the delicate balance they have fought so hard to achieve, threatening to derail their entire empire and tear their newly formed peace to shreds. How can they continue to wage a petty, vindictive war over fabric, fashion lines, and executive titles when the very foundation of their family is secretly crumbling? The corporate battles that seemed so monumental just hours ago suddenly feel terrifyingly insignificant, reduced to meaningless static against the overwhelming, suffocating silence of Bill's unspoken grief. The dramatic atmosphere blanketing the canvas of Los Angeles has never been more profound or heartbreaking. While characters like Steffy Forrester, Hope Logan, and Ridge Forrester remain entirely consumed by their relentless power struggles, their bruised egos, and their desperate bids for control, a true, irreversible tragedy is unfolding in the shadows. The ticking clock of Wyatt Spencer's life serves as a grim, haunting reminder of the ephemeral nature of their glamorous world. The wealth, the power, the designer labels, and the executive suites offer absolutely no protection against the relentless, inexorable march of time and mortality. As the days turn into weeks, the agonizing weight of this secret will inevitably begin to crush Bill Spencer from the inside out. The Man of Steel will be forced to navigate the treacherous waters of his daily life, pretending to care about profit margins and PR disasters while his son is quietly fading away. He will have to look Liam and Will in the eyes, masking his profound devastation with a hollow smile, honoring Wyatt's desperate plea for dignity at the cost of his own sanity. The impending doom is a dark, heavy cloud that hovers over the entire Spencer and Logan dynasty, a tempest just waiting to break. Ultimately, this heart-wrenching narrative forces us to look beyond the superficial glamour and the ruthless ambition that define the bold and the beautiful. It peels back the layers of wealth and power to reveal the profound, vulnerable humanity of these beloved characters. It is a story about the agonizing limits of control, the fierce, protective nature of a father's love, and the tragic, noble pride of a son facing his own end. When the truth inevitably surfaces, as all secrets in Los Angeles eventually do, the emotional devastation will ripple through the entire canvas, leaving no heart unbroken and no relationship unchanged. The war for corporate dominance will fade into the background, replaced by the universal, unifying experience of profound grief, reminding everyone that in the end,